You know, in a hotel business, your reputation is pretty much everything. But in this digital age we're living in, all it takes is one bad post, one tweet, and that reputation can just shatter. So today, we're going to open up the playbook for what to do when your hotel goes viral for all the wrong reasons. Okay, so just imagine this for a second. You wake up, grab your phone, and your hotel is the #1 trending topic online. Now, is that a dream come true, or is it your worst nightmare? That right there is the double-edged sword of getting a ton of attention online, and you absolutely have to know how to handle both sides. To really get what's at stake here, let's look at something that actually happened. There was this hotel in Buenos Aires where a celebrity incident took place. Within hours, it became a global headline. Their social media was just flooded with angry comments, criticism, and a ton of fake reviews. It's a pretty stark reminder of how fast a single event can spiral into a massive reputation nightmare. So, what even is a social media crisis? Well, it's basically any unexpected thing that happens online that has the power to seriously damage your brand. And we're not just talking about huge security breaches here. It could be anything. A single really negative review that catches on, a viral complaint, and it all spreads like wildfire, usually before you've even had your morning coffee. For years and years, PR folks always talked about the golden hour, that first 60-minute window you have to get control of a story. Well, let me tell you, that idea is completely dead. The speed of social media has made it totally obsolete. What's replaced it is what we now call the golden minute. Yeah, your window to shape the narrative has shrunk from a whole hour down to just seconds. If you're not the first one out there defining what happened, you're going to spend the entire time playing defense against a story you don't even control. Every single second counts. So how in the world do you fight a fire that moves that fast? Well, the truth is, you don't. You build a fire break long before there's even a spark. So let's dive into this first crucial part, the absolute power of being prepared. This quote really just says it all. You can't start figuring out your plan when you're already in the middle of the crisis. I mean, you wouldn't start building the lifeboat after the ship has already hit the iceberg, right? Having a plan ready to go, one you made with a clear head, is the single most important thing you can have. Your preparation really comes down to 4 key steps. First, you've got to assess your vulnerabilities, like where are you most at risk? Second, you need to assemble your crisis team, and everyone needs to know exactly what their job is. Third, map out your response. Have messages and statements ready to go. And finally, you have to actually practice it. Put the plan into action with drills. Now, a tiered system like this is so important because it stops you from either overreacting or, even worse, underreacting. Look, not every complaint is a 5-alarm fire. A tiered system lets you match your response to the level of the threat. So a low-tier issue, like one bad review, that gets a standard templated reply. But a high-tier crisis, like a major security breach or that celebrity incident, that's when you activate the full command center. It just makes sure your resources go where they're needed most. Okay, so you've done all your prep work, you've got a plan. But now it's happening. The fire has started, your phone is blowing up with notifications. What do you do in that golden minute? All right, first things first, forget that old playbook of just trying to contain the problem and say sorry. A modern response uses something called the CARE model. It's a whole new framework. It's about controlling the conversation by being the first and most trusted source of info. It's about protecting customer acquisition by showing potential guests you know how to handle tough situations. It's about retention, making things right for guests who are at risk. And finally, it's about rebuilding trust through real, genuine engagement. And this just shows the difference perfectly. So, California Pizza Kitchen, right? A TikToker posted about getting an order that was messed up. The brand jumped in with humor, offered a promo code, and even sent a gift. They turned it into a huge win. Now, compare that to how United Airlines first responded when that passenger was dragged off a plane. Their response was defensive, totally tone-deaf, and it just caused the whole thing to spiral into a total PR disaster. In a really big, high-stakes crisis, you need a checklist for what to do immediately. First, get a holding statement out there. That's just a quick message saying, hey, we see what's happening and we're looking into it. Then, escalate to your headquarters or regional teams, lock down the physical area, and brief every single employee on what to say. Oh, and this is critical. Pause all your scheduled marketing posts. Nothing looks worse than a cheerful ad popping up next to an angry thread about your company. So once the immediate fire feels like it's contained, believe me, the work is far from over. Now comes the really hard part, recovery. and rebuilding the trust that you've probably lost. This is something you really have to remember. Your reputation isn't what you say it is. It's what your guests, your staff, and the public perceive it to be. Rebuilding that perception is a delicate process, and it's all about action, not just words. The only way to get stronger after something like this is to actually learn from it. So a post-crisis evaluation is completely non-negotiable. Get the team together for a really honest debrief. Look at the data. How did people's feelings about you shift online? Figure out what worked and what really didn't. Then use all of that to update your playbook and make sure you share those lessons with everyone in your organization. All right, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's boil it all down into a simple, crisis-ready playbook that you can actually remember and use. Here it is, the 4 crucial things you have to take away from all this. Number 1, the golden minute. Speed is your absolute most valuable asset, period. 2, prepare before the fire. That tiered plan we talked about, that's your fire break. 3, respond with care. Go beyond a simple apology, focus on the conversation, on being human, and on solving the problem. And 4, learn and improve. Every single crisis, no matter how painful it is a chance to build a stronger, more resilient organization. At the end of the day, a crisis isn't a matter of if it will happen. It's really just a matter of when. So the real question you need to be asking yourself is, when that moment comes, will your hotel's reputation be another casualty, or will it be ready to withstand the fire?